Good day, everybody. I'm meteorologist Robert Spetty here, and here today we are going to continue to track Matmo in this edition of the Western Pacific Weather Update. But before I get into the forecast, I really want to talk about the top story of the day, which is this airline that crashed flying from southern Taiwan to the Penghu Islands there in the Taiwan Strait. 47 people on board did die due to the storm system, and many other people, even on the ground, are still missing after this. This occurred here on Wednesday evening. Now, the main reason why I'm covering this is not so much because there was a plane crash, but the fact is this plane definitely should have not been flying. I know right now technically the crash is uncertain, but just looking at the weather on the ground at this time, we were seeing 60-kilometer-per-hour winds. We're out of the circle. If anybody who knows how to read radar imagery can see that there was some severe storm systems going on out here. We had heavy rainfall, high winds. The thing is, and this is what I'm seeing in a lot of reports, the airport, technically, they were allowed to land at 1,600 meters. And I guess the visibility was that high, but it doesn't really matter. We're still seeing this heavy rainfall and the winds, which could be very serious out here. And I think that is one of the major reasons why we had this plane crash, to be honest. Also, I noticed that it was going on a go-around, which means the plane likely was landing into the wind, either had it on its head or on its tail. But once it started to do its go-around and do a churn, likely hit a crosswind, moving very slow at that time, flying around 300 to 400 feet. So definitely very dangerous, and it ended up being a deadly scenario. Our hopes and thoughts go out to everybody out here, and everybody is still grieving from the storm system after it did push over Taiwan. It killed one person on the mainland, of course, with that plane crash. But I will find it very interesting what led to this plane being allowed to fly into the storm system. Always play it safe, everybody. That's one of my big things I would like to say at last on this, is always play it safe. Despite maybe conditions look good out there, maybe your flight, you want to get to your place on time, or at least try to get there as early as possible. What happens sometimes is that ends up being more dangerous than just waiting a couple more hours and going when it's safe. So this is what we're looking at today. Anyhow, Typhoon Matmo still pulling off here towards the north. Actually, not a typhoon anymore. It is a tropical storm. Really winds down to about 65 knots at this time. Or excuse me, 35 knots, 65 kilometers per hour at this time. So just barely holding on to that typhoon intensity, really. And it's expected to become a tropical depression in the next several hours. So really, this storm system, it's on its way out the door. Still looking at some heavy rainfall, though, across eastern parts of China. I think the worst of the rain is going to remain just towards the west of Shanghai. I know we have the metro area out here. Already we are looking at a lot of delays out on the roads as well. So it's going to be a slow go in eastern portions of China. But really the worst of the weather is going to remain off here towards the west. We could see it, though, continue to intensify as it gets picked up by the upper level jet off here towards the north. And it really does look like this is going to get wrapped up with the seasonal front, that rainy season front. And you can see right here where the jet's located, that big dip. Well, that's going to help and enhance this storm system. And I really do think we're going to look at some not only heavy rainfall, but the high winds across much of the DPRK, parts of northeastern China, even over towards Seoul as well. You could be seeing some pretty heavy showers as all that rain starts to push on shore out of the Yellow Sea or the Gulf of Bohai up here and pushes out there towards the east. And eventually parts of northern Japan could be impacted by what is left of Matmo here at that time as well. So that's really what we're tracking with that storm system. I also mentioned in the title of this, though, we're tracking another low, which is out there in the Western Pacific. Take a look at our latest satellite imagery here. We have, well, two lows, actually. We have one just towards the east of the Philippines. This is the low pressure area being marked by the Japan Meteorological Agency, and another one off here towards the east. This one, I'm not really expecting very much out of it, to be honest. I think this could bring some scattered showers across the southern portions of the Philippines, but it's not really all there. It's this one I'm worried about. The one right near Guam. Model's picking up on this one, and potentially, I mean, this could come out here and really impact somebody. I'm being very, very vague on that, though, and I'm saying somebody because the big thing is this is concentrated in an area of disorganized cloud cover. There's a lot of factors that could pull it towards the west, pull it towards the north, pull it towards the northwest. The big thing, though, as well, is models are just scattered on the development of these storm systems. You have our one out here, and you guys see here with the Euro motto, it pushes it off there towards the west and kind of lingers in the Philippine Sea until Monday. But let's go over towards our GFS model, because this is the one that's been, I wouldn't say aggressive, but it has been all over the place, and it's been aggressive in the fact it has been forming a storm, and the last run actually forms 2 typhoons by Thursday of next week out here. The Navgem as well has been pretty aggressive, pulling a storm off here towards the north and eventually pushing towards Okinawa and the southern Japanese islands. So my thoughts, I think something very well could develop up here. Just don't ask me just yet where it will be going or how strong it will get. So right now I got a moderate risk of development on this area, and a light risk, still a risk, but a lighter risk or a weak risk of development just towards the east of the Philippines. So that is all for right now, everybody. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. It wasn't just these stories we're talking about today. We're also talking about the heat across much of Japan and northeastern China. Hundreds of people dealing with heat stroke out here. This update, though, just mainly keying on the tropics, but if you do go to the website, there's plenty of other information to be had there as well. All right, guys, thanks again for watching, and as always, stay safe out there.